Today we are discussing a shocking revelation that sent waves across the nation. The Nigerian government has banned an astonishing about 23,000 individuals from Benin over certificate fraud allegations. Now, these drastic measures raises fundamental questions about the authenticity of our educational system and the integrity of our own workforce. I think last year, was it late last year, where an investigative journalist went to Benin and made a deep discovery of getting a certificate that is meant to be 4 years in just, I think, 3 months. I can't remember the exact time, but then this has caused the Nigerian government to take more deep dive into our educational system in Nigeria. And now the government is making decisions saying about 23,000 and even saying from 2017 until date is what they are looking at. And these people are said they would lose their job if they've already gotten a job with this certificate. And also, NYSC, you can go on that if you have it. So this is what we want to be talking about. Were you affected by this ban? Do you know someone who was? Do you think this is a move, in the right direction? Is it a good step? Or do you think it is, overreach? Is Nigeria even capable of holding these people accountable? Do you think there are people that truly went to, this part of the country, talking about Benin, part of the world rather, talking about Benin Republic and Togo, those were the countries cited. Do you think that there are some people that truly went there and got, that accurate education that they need to move forward in life? Do you think the government are doing their own best in order to make sure our education system in our country it's good enough for people not to even go out, reaching out of the country to get education? And these are all the things we want to hear. We want you to share your thoughts, your concerns, and experiences with, of course, this particular situation. And you can send us, of course, messages. The numbers will be displayed on your TV screen. You can call us via any of this number or send WhatsApp message via the first one. Let's hear your take on this matter. Currently, the government has said if at all you have attained from any universities, there was no exceptions, which is something that is skeptical for me in that regard. But it's not about me, it's about you. Let's hear your take on this. Do you think this government's decision is in the right step? Good morning. We have our first caller. Good morning. Are you with us?
Good morning.
Yeah, speak a bit louder. Your name and where you're calling us from. Are you with us? Can you please turn down the volume of your TV set and talk to me through your phone? I think, honestly, there won't be time. A lot of people will try to reach out. So if you call and you're waiting for my voice through your TV, then we'd have to let you go, because it would be a very draggy situation where you have to pause and I would wait for you to talk and I'll pause and you're waiting to hear me through your TV, and we don't have time for that. So if you're calling us, please put your phone by your ear so that we can talk to you. You talk to us through your phone. Let's hear your take on the ban of certificates from Benin and other African country like Togo. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Abubakar.
Good morning. Can you hear me? The volume is, I don't know if it's from our own end or yours, but the volume is too low. I can't hear you.
Good morning.
Yeah. Your name and where you're calling us from.
My name is Abubakar from Katsina.
No, Abubakar from Katsina. Go ahead with your take on this matter.
Well, I have a take on this issue of certificate fraud. My take is the penalty or the sanction that the federal government has given the graduate from this Benin Republic is too harsh. I have this suggestion that they should reduce the penalty in such a way that there are so many options. One of it, why can't it really look like, okay, those that are already employed with that same certificate, we will retain you. After you people have been retained, maybe okay, we'll not give you an ultimatum like go and have a new degree, and you'll be where you are, where you're working, with an ultimatum of 4 or 3 or so years given to them. But it has to be a recognized university, not even a private university. It should be a state or federal universities. That could also, because the issue of saying that they were dismissed and they can no longer use that certificate, I don't think they've been fair to them. Because initially, before they were able to have this certificate, they were agreed. There was an agreement that they can be able to use it, not that they choose it by themselves.
Yeah.
It happens that they were agreed that when they acquire this certificate, they will work with it. And now later on, it was discovered that there are so many fraud and a lot of things behind this certificate. Then you now say that people that have been using this certificate have been working for years and other things with so many responsibilities, and now you not just tell them that they are no longer relevant. There's the issue of this insecurity and other things. What do you expect such people to depression and other things? So I made my own take here to cut it short. I'm pleading that there's so other things, so many ways they can deal with this certificate. I'm totally not in support of this fraud certificate because by experience I happen to know many people that have this within such a period of time, a month or so, they acquire this certificate. But there are so many ways that they can deal with them, and anybody that has not started working with that certificate can no longer be accepted in any of the private or public sector within the Nigeria. I think if Nigeria can look in this thing, they will do justice for them.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for that. A very concise and smart contribution, I would say. Yes, the government definitely agreed to it initially because you cannot just make decision to go and bring other countries' certificate without the government approving that it is okay and you can use it. Hence the reason why our previous caller think this is harsh on this. If you're stopping it, then it should stop from the people that are going to school now, It's already late for the people that have already passed this. And they're dating it back, the federal government is dating it back to 2017. It was a long time ago. We're talking about almost 10 years of someone's life, being just down the drain. And if you're talking about from 2017, that means some people even got into school before that 2017. And on a personal level, I've known people who went there, spent that 4 years of their lives. And if you're saying based on the school, maybe some people were privileged to do the fraud and just do 2 weeks or even 3 months paying money in order to get a certificate that others got for 4 years. It's not justice when everybody has to pay for the fraud or mistake or crime of other people. But then, yes, when we're talking about certificate fraud, it is a massive crime. It is a massive crime in all over the world. It does not speak well. It starts from the beginning. It's showing that, okay, you can easily, do the most heinous thing right from the beginning. And afterwards, people just tend to be lazy and wanting to get things quicker and easier. But then, the punishment, for some are saying it's a bit too harsh. Imagine working with a certificate and all of a sudden they're saying you have to, it's not done anymore. It really breaks our heart what is going on, but then it's all in the right direction of making the country better. So let's hear your take on this one. Another concern he raised was insecurity. Yes, when you're telling people their certificate is wrong or, they have to go back to school again, aren't you scared of the outcome of that? Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, your name and where you're calling us from.
I'm calling from Gombe State. And my name is Ayuba Hamidu.
Ayuba, it's good to have you from Gombe.
Yes.
What is your take on this?
My take on this is that, just like you are saying that you know a lot of people, I know a lot of people too who go through this Benin University. And this issue, just for me, it is not fair for the government to just come just like that, and then after so many years of this fraud, and just cut short those that are working. I think the implementation should start 2024 when it was discovered that this is a fraud, because there are people that just went there and spent the exact years and they do not go through that fraud of a thing. There was somebody told me about him just going there and obtain it for in just 2 years. There are people that also obtain this for the legitimate years. I think it shouldn't stand. Let there be pardon for those who go through the exact years, if there's any window like that. So that's my take. Good morning.
Thank you so much, Ayuba, for that. He said there are some people that did the exact year, while others got it late, so still piping down or boiling, emphasizing on the first caller's take as well, which is the punishment is too harsh. And this is a platform where we open, of course, phone line to discuss about this situation, where we get to have a take on policies, that affect us as Nigerians. We have seen the government take a step back on some decisions based on what Nigerians are saying. I mean, they are not perfect; they're humans as well. So, if at all we feel there's better solution, you can give your suggestions and your take, and how this has affected people around you. If at all you feel you have people around you that this would definitely affect. Do you have another caller? Good morning. All right, go ahead. Call us via the numbers on your TV screen. Let's hear your take on this matter, the certificate of fraud. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Okay, my name is Ade. I'm calling from London.
Hi, Ade. It's good to have you this morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, go ahead with your take.
My view about this issue is that I'm in full support of the government. They should all be sacked. Who among the callers can allow a fake doctor who obtains certificates from a fake university to be treating them or their family or nurse? Who can allow that? If fraud is fraud, you don't support criminality. We are the same people blaming government for not doing that. When they are taking a right decision now, they say no. Allow the fake people to be there. Let them be sacked. It will serve as a deterrent to other people. Don't go and use fake certificate. You must find out when you are going to school, if the school is genuine. I mean, if you are going to university, your level of education must take notice of that. Let me find out about this school. Is it genuine school or not? So they should be sacked. Let them go back to university or whatever school they want to go. I'll obtain a proper certificate. Imagine when those who get to the position of authority, the rate of embezzlement they will do. You can imagine the fraud they will pass because of where they are coming from. They know. Most of them know that this place they are going to is fake. You understand? A Nigerian lady the spouse was leaked a secret in UK that his wife is using fake certificate to do nothing. After almost 2 years, they have a quarrel. That's how government detects. You can imagine.
But Ade, I want to ask you a question. I don't know if you're with me. But there were some people that went to the school and did the 4 years. So do you think this punishment, that even though it's going to affect everybody, do you think it's fair on those people, those group of people?
Those people that did 4 years, that are genuine, let them take exam in Nigeria university.
Okay.
Let them set exam for them in the university in Nigeria. Final exam. So if they pass it, then government should give them a job. But if they fail it, they should go back to school. Okay. That's how to work. Like that. You see? So let them take exam. When they take exam, can you imagine somebody who have a fake pilot certificate and want to fly such a plane? I mean, it's not how I think I eat it. So anybody that is sure, particularly then exam, when they take a final exam, if they pass, then they should give them. That's my own contribution to this issue.
Appreciate
God bless
you.
Nigeria.
Amen to that. Appreciate you, Ade, for that take. While some people are saying it's too harsh, Ade, which I expected because he's calling from overseas, and we all know how developed country, which we always look up to, don't deal with crimes. At the end of the day, this has been way overlooked. Hence the reason why people were rushing to get a very quick a particular certificate, which is something that is really, really bad. I've stated it at the beginning of this section that it is a terrible crime. It is a huge crime, certificate fraud. But in this part of the country, because it has been way overlooked, people have gotten away with it. And now it seemed like a lot of people would be caught, in the same basket of punishment that is being served on the main, criminals. But then Ade is saying, yes, we have to do it that way. It would be a detriment to other people not to take on that part. And but also he gave a suggestion of perhaps there could be exams for the people to prove themselves if at all theirs was the real deal. All right, let's pick this call. Good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Yeah, your name and where you're calling us from.
My name is Shetima Yakudima, calling from Maiduguri.
Shetima, good morning. It's good to have you on the show today.
Morning, Summayya.
Yeah. So go ahead. What is your take on this certificate fraud?
This issue of fraud certificate, people, they do not understand. It is a serious issue. It is the attitude that is killing the country. And because you will find that in the public service, things are not moving. Because people have been bought certificate and come to the service without receiving the discipline properly. And if you are not sound in the discipline, you cannot yield any good result in the services. So, some institutions outside the country, they are just after the money that you will give them. They can, without any good assessment, they will award a person with certificate. You will agree with me. You will find people who are with abroad certificate. But if you give them work, they cannot do it. And this is a process that is killing the country. Well, to me, it is a welcome development. Let launch an exercise where everyone will present his certificate. It is good move to me, honestly speaking, because many graduates they were on ground without job. People, they will go because they have money, they will go to the abroad, they pay money, and they will get the certificate. All of a sudden, before you know, they have jumped into the public service. And they have blocked a way to the well-trained students who have no work to do. This is a welcome development to me, honestly.
Thank you so much, Shetima, for that thought. He said it's a welcome development, and people deserve to at least be recognized if they have put in the work and do something good. All right, let's read some of the WhatsApp messages that we have this morning. This one is saying it is a very good and welcome development to get degree in such a short. Okay, welcome development, and then it's full stop there. He said to get a degree in such a short time should not be accepted. Even if they got a job elsewhere, they should be fired so as to pave way for those who genuinely acquired their certificates. All right, you forgot to include your name or where you're sending this message from, but thank you so much for that. Yes, it has not been fair for people. We know people in Nigeria who have spent over 10 years after graduation and still do not have, they don't have a job. And we've seen a lot of instances, for those of you who served, of people who claim they have a degree, but they cannot even write or comprehend a sentence in the NYC camp. I saw that kind of situation way back while we were 7. And it just points that there's a lot of, gibberish happening in the world of education. But I have to also put some sort of a blame on our government, not this administration, the government for the longest time, because we saw how our own education system has been really difficult on an average Nigerian, and parents sometimes just push their kids to go outside the country in order to acquire the certificate. Good morning. Do we still have the caller? Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. Your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Kabiru from Taraba, Jalingo.
Kabiru from Taraba. It's good to have you.
My name is Kabiru Garba from Taraba State, Jalingo.
Okay, it's good to have you. Go ahead.
And yes, I supported the decision of the federal government on that Benin certificate issue. And I hope the federal government too should extend it to include the politician, so that will go around.
All right, Kabiru, thank you so much for
Thank you.
that.
That's my take.
I appreciate that. He said he supports the federal government's decision and it should be extended to the constitution. It seems there's going to be a lot of things that would be in the constitution. But then I don't think this is something that has to be, part of the constitution. It's just the government to say, no, we don't accept something from this and that. Yes, I have seen a different situation on this. And as much as I want to take a side, I feel like the country should come first when it comes to everything. And so far, there's a lot of criminalities going on in the country that people seem to be getting away with. And like I said, certificate fraud is a huge deal. It should not at all be even tolerated. But then I share a bit of concern on, other people's concern as well, which is if at all this whole thing, it's been used for everybody that went out of Nigeria to school, then it would not be fair. It would not be fair. And I'm sure even in the Benin Republic, there are more credible universities that perhaps the government could make their own research and find better solutions for that, because we are scared of how much this would bring back much insecurity to our own streets. Good morning. Good morning. Do we still have that caller?
Hello?
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Yeah, my name is Mafuil. I'm calling from Abuja.
Oh, good to have you from the nation's capital. So what is your take on this?
Yeah, I am aligning with the first caller who said the decision of banning certificates 2017 to date is harsh. And I say so with due regard to issues of fraud are everywhere. Even in Nigerian universities here, there are cases of fraud. And there are people who go to universities, they also find a way of getting certificates without, the only thing is that they have not been found. So the ideal thing would have been if there was a specific research conducted on a particular school. We thought the ideal thing should be that school should be placed on a red list by this country, not banning the whole schools in that country. That's one. Number two, the country also has grading systems. Are those schools graded by that country? If they are graded by that country, we expect that also the Nigerian government should also have a regard for the grading system of that country, not to ban, I have a friend whose wife went to UK after about 2-3 years of in their grading system, which is abroad. Also, there are schools also that are not graded. Are you understanding? Yeah. And I know in the country Nigeria, the public service has schools that are, they call them approved. If you are to to be certificated or to be employed or to be graded in the grading system. There are schools that will tell you these schools are not accredited by either the Federal Ministry of Education or so. So these are processes and there are structures that are acceptable everywhere in the world. So we expect that if there was a leakage or an information coming with regard to a particular school, that school should be held to ransom. And if there are similar schools in Benin or Togo in that particular stage, they should be the ones to be banned. And then people...
Do we still have the caller? I think we lost that call. Really disheartening. He was airing out a take. So I would address some of it. First, he spoke about it should not be an entire, country's university. The federal ministry is saying we do not include the universities that are accredited. Just like he raised the concerns of grade, there are universities that are great in Benin Republic and even other African countries. And that is the reason why, countries give accreditation, especially through the Ministry of Education. So the Ministry of Education is saying those universities that are accredited, we have accept these ones. But the ones that are not on the radar is what would be affected. The people with those certificates would be the ones that would be affected by this move. About 23,000 Nigerians. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm about to go to Franklin from Gov't State.
I cannot hear you.
Hello? Okay. I'm about to go to Franklin from Gov't State.
Okay. I didn't get your name from Kebbi. Please, can we increase the volume over here?
Okay, from Gov't.
Okay.
Franklin from Gov't.
Okay, from Gombe. Good to have you. Go ahead.
I think the government should bow their heads in shame because for a very long time, it has been going on. I think they are not actually doing their work. There should be a system to get certificates before now. And since we are at this point, there should still be a technique actually see how to fish the people out, not generally disbursing punishment. And just like the other fellows have said, they should not just talk to the masses because politics in Nigeria are those that will affect the poor. The politicians should also partake in any consequence that should be issued out to the market. Not just because we have cases of certificates called in politics. So why issue out punishments to a particular set or the less privileged or whatever? They should also go around and they should go back and do their job. Not disbursing a general punishment to everybody. They should bring out the technique to fish out the people or people who have actually been, and not say people who have waited a greater amount of their life. There are people who have actually gone to school and spent 4 years there. Do you understand? Unless they should all go out. No, this is a very, very bad step taken by the government. And this kind of thing should not make the headline. Because how will the world look at us? We are so unserious on things, especially education. So there should be a technique that should teach these people out, and it should be done secretly, and not coming out to actually further dilapidate our educational system. That's my take on this, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you for that call. So he's basically saying as much as the government want to improve the education system and get qualified Nigerians into the working environment at the job creation platform, it still has to be a bit lenient when it comes to this. There are people that have great certificates, even if it's from the school that perhaps might not accredited. We all know, I have a lot to say honestly, but I think we have a caller. Do we have a caller? All right, we lost that call. So basically what I'm saying is at the end of the day, there's a lot of things that needs to be put in place. And I said the previous caller was talking about Nigeria, our leaders not really thinking things through. I'm sure they have thought a lot of things through, but they're not perfect. Hence the reason why we say we would weigh in different conversations. We hope at the end of the day that whatever the decision is, it is best for our country. Yes, fraud is fraud, no matter how small it is. but we will be more grateful if they're able to fish out the real culprit and hold them accountable to this. Now, with that, of course, we have to come to an end of this segment this morning. Do not forget and don't feel dated that your call was not picked or you were not able to send to read your messages. Tomorrow we'll open the phone line again about something that truly affects Nigerians.